Now we know how to create unique indexes on collections. The question is, what happens if we try to create a unique index on a collection and there is more than one document missing the index key? So for example, let's say I try to create a unique index on these three documents, A, B, and C, A, B, and AB. The first document has A, B, C, the second document has A and B, and the third document has A and B. And I want to create an index on just C. Well, that's fine for the first document. But for the second document, C does not have a value, and so the database considers C to be null. And for the third document, the database considers C to be null. But unique means each key can only be in the index once. And so if there are multiple documents where the key is null, you can't create the index. You don't want to drop the dupes. What do? Now again, the problem is that a unique index only allows each key to be in the index once. And if the key is missing from multiple documents, they all map to null. So this maps to null, and this maps to null for the key. And that means that they can't coexist in the index. And the answer to this problem is sparse indexes. What sparse indexes do is they only index the documents that have a key set for the key being indexed. So this document would be indexed, but these two documents would not be indexed. So that has some interesting implications, because if these two documents are not indexed, then if we use the index to find the answer to a query, these documents won't be considered. But other than that, it works pretty much as you'd expect. Let me show you an example to explain how sparse indexes work. Here is a small collection called products, and I'll do a db.products.find on it so you can see them. And maybe I'll print them out pretty. And you can see here, the first two printed pretty, the second ones are too small to be printed in a pretty way. That the first two documents, the first one is a polo shirt, it's a products collection, has a size medium. And the second one is jeans, it has a size 32 by 32. And the third and fourth documents, one of them is a DVI to VGA cable, and it has no size. And another one is an iPhone cradle, and it has no size. Now, if we wanted to create an index on, let's say, on size, all right, and we wanted to make that index sparse, well, first of all, we certainly couldn't create an index that was unique, and I'll show you that. So we'll do db.products ensure index on size where it is unique. And you can see that we can't do that. There's a duplicate key. The duplicate key is null. All right, so if we wanted instead to create the index, but to allow it to be sparse, then we can create it. Now this is a little bit of a synthetic example because it's not clear why you'd want a unique index on the size, since there's obviously going to be more than one item with the size. But it doesn't have to be unique to create a sparse index. So in fact, I'll create it this way, and now you can see there's an index on it, and I can look at it and see it's there. It works pretty much as I'd expect. It doesn't really change most queries. If I do a find and I look for size medium, I find what I expected to find, which is the polo shirt size medium. No big deal. But if I use this new index to sort, for example, it will not do exactly what you might expect. So let's say I do db.products.find. Let me find all the documents and sort them by size. All right, that is going to return 2 documents. That's interesting. So there are 4 documents in the collection, but if I sort them by size, I only get 2 documents. Okay, that's weird. What's happening? Well, what's happening is that if this index is sparse and there are no entries for the 2 pieces of electronics that were in the product collection that don't have a size, and it's going to use this index that we created on size to do the sort, there is no entry for the documents that have no size key. And so they're simply left out of the final result. They're basically filtered out. That might be a little bit unexpected. So again, if we just do a straight find without sorting it, we get 4 documents. But if we sort it, we get 2. Okay? Very strange, and the reason is this is a result of there being a sparse index on size. It's an artifact of that. And if we drop the index, I'm going to drop the index on size, and then I rerun this exact same query with the sort, which granted will now be slow because I can't use the index to do the sort, but there's only 2 documents in this collection, so it doesn't matter. Then I get 4 documents. So you have to be a little bit careful with these sparse indexes. They will let you create a unique index even when multiple documents in the collection are missing the key, but they do change the nature of some of the queries, especially sorting queries and also some items when you're filtering. You can also see different results. So you have to be a little bit wary and realize that if the index is used, that it's not going to hit the items that are not in the index. And we're going to show you later on how to ask that this particular index not be used. So there are ways to work around this, even if you want to have the index in the collection in general. All right, now it's time for a quiz. Suppose you had the following documents in a collection called people, with the following docs. I have 3 documents in the collection. The first one is named Andrew, and he has a title of Jester. And then the second one is named Dwight, and he has a title of CEO. And the third one is named John, and he has no title. And then I decide to create an index on title, and I decide to make it sparse, so that there are no entries in the index for items where title does not exist. If you perform the following query, db.people.find, with title being null, what do you think the database returns? What do you think MongoDB returns? And the 4 choices are no documents, because the query uses the index and there are no documents with the title null in the index. No documents, because querying for title null only finds documents that explicitly have title null, regardless of the index. And you can set title to be null in a document. Or the document for John, because the query won't use the index, so you just get John because he's missing a title. Or all the documents in the collection, because title null matches all the documents. Or the document for John, because the ensure index command above here won't succeed in this case. And please check the right answer.